2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. St. Lucia rated as the number for closure of the molecular microbiology Choice Awards. We have Doreen Georges, Public Relations Manager at the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, to speak on this accomplishment. Christmas wish has been granted, but daycares all the way up to the tertiary level education has been. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Morning Update live on NTN. If you're watching on air online, for those residents here in St. Lucia, St. Lucians in the diaspora, thank you so much for tuning in. We are counting down to the new year. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of December, 2020. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas weekend, and here's to a promising new year. My name is Jessie Leonce. Thank you so much once again for joining us. On the schedule for this morning, in terms of the news for the last 24 hours or so, we have St. Lucia being rated as #1, the #1 Caribbean destination in the 2020 Reader's Choice Awards. We have Doreen Georges, who will be speaking to us from the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. She is the Public Relations Manager, talking about this latest accomplishment of St. Lucia within the tourism industry. We also have an update, as usual, on the COVID-19 recoveries here on island. The tally is now up to 274 recoveries out of the 331 diagnosed to date of COVID-19. Of course, the difference being the individuals who have been repatriated individuals as well as those who have unfortunately succumbed. We have some bulletin information for you this morning. The Wellness Center opening days for the New Year's holiday weekend, as well as the availability of the team at the Ezra Long Lab, the team that tests for COVID-19. We'll let you know the days that they will be available as well. And a gentle reminder for parents who can hardly wait for their kids to return to the classroom: your Christmas wish has been granted. From nurseries and daycares all the way up to the tertiary level, school will be reopened in January. We have Mrs. Nathalie Jolie Fannis in studio from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. She will be speaking to us on what form that return experience will take up on the morn. So we have a body program for you this morning. Do stay with us. When we come back, we get into the meat of things.
We at war with a virus, ready to harm us. Panic is not the answer. We can win this together.
Often use hand sanitizer, better yet use soap and water.
We must protect each other if we are to beat this corona.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. Be a soldier, together we can beat this corona.
So you don't become the next case. Avoid touching your face. I'm sure you've been told so. Handshakes and hugging are a no.
Advice, give you the please. Cover your mouth and your nose if you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing and avoid large social gatherings.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. St. Lucia, be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
For further information, please contact the hotline at 311 or the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349.
Thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining, a special good morning to you. We hope your Christmas was enjoyable, and here's to a fabulous new year. We continue on with the morning update live on NTN with an update on the COVID-19 recoveries. The tally, as I mentioned before we went to break, is 274 recoveries here in St. Lucia out of the 331 individuals who've been diagnosed to date here on island. The difference, of course, being those individuals who've been repatriated and those who have succumbed. I now go to a statement coming from the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmont George, just giving us the update on the latest recorded cases over the long Christmas holiday weekend. Take a look.
Over the course of the Christmas weekend, between December 24th and December 27th, 2020, a total of 314 COVID-19 tests were conducted by the Ezra Long Laboratory. From these, the Ministry of Health received confirmation of 26 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 331. On Friday, December 25th, 2020, 13 cases of COVID-19 were confirmed. 4 of the cases were non-nationals who range in age from 5 months to 52 years. The other 9 cases recorded on that day were St. Lucia nationals from the Vieux Fort, Castries, Dennery, Mico, and Choiseul districts, ranging in age from 21 years to 61 years. On Monday, December 28, 2020, confirmation of an additional 13 COVID-19 cases were received. 11 were non-nationals ranging in age from 5 years to 46 years. The other 2 cases were nationals from the Babonneau district ranging in age from 38 years to 41 years. 8 of the 26 cases were contacts of previous cases and had been tested and placed in quarantine pending their results. Arrangements have been made for the isolation of all of the newly diagnosed cases. None of those cases require critical care at this point. The Ministry of Health has recorded a total of 274 recoveries to date, with 57 active cases presently in country. The public is reminded of the importance of practicing the infection prevention and control measures to minimize the COVID-19 infections. That is, wash your hands often during the day, using soap and flowing water, wear a mask in public places and ensure that it covers your mouth, your chin and your nose. Also maintain a distance of 6 feet from others. Avoid contact with other people who have flu-like symptoms. If you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, keep away from others and seek medical care at the closest respiratory clinic. The Ministry of Health and Wellness will continue providing updates as new information becomes available.
That was Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George there giving us the update. 26 new cases confirmed over the holiday weekend. On Christmas Day, the 25th, 13 cases of COVID-19 confirmed. Another 13 were diagnosed on the 28th. That was just yesterday, Monday. We have active cases here on island at 57. So 57 individuals are being treated at the respiratory hospital for COVID-19. Gentle reminder, we hope that you are adhering to the protocols, following the infection prevention guidelines, ensuring that you use a mask if you're going out, observing the 6-foot distance and using washing with soap and water, and when you're not near a faucet that you use copious amounts of hand sanitizer. This is all in an effort to reduce the level of transmission. I'm reading here from the press release from the Department of Health and Wellness that 8 of the 26 cases that were just recently confirmed over the weekend were contacts of previous cases and had been tested and placed in quarantine pending their results. So it is transmissible. The situation is the COVID-19 is contagious. I mean, I don't know how many times we need to say this, but we hope that you are playing your part to ensure that you reduce the likelihood of contracting COVID-19 in that respect. We continue on this morning with our regular updates, with St. Lucia being rated as the #1 Caribbean destination in the 2020 Reader's Choice Awards. And I'll go to Ms. Joreen Georges, the Public Relations Manager from the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, to speak on this accomplishment.
As we move further into the holiday season, we really wish to remind the traveling public that efforts have been made to further reinforce the already strict protocols at every juncture of travel into St. Lucia. We've recently issued an updated NOTAM to the airlines, and continued efforts on PCR testing and registration of travel is further guarded. There are heightened screening efforts at the ports of entry, which include health and safety as well as verification of all travel documents, both for accommodation and testing for visitors and our returning nationals. There will also be heightened scrutiny on residents in home quarantine over the holiday period. We must take the personal responsibility in first keeping ourselves and those closest to us safe, and by extension the wider community. We know that 2020 has been a year of navigation, and it is very important that we make the necessary sacrifices to get by during this period. And by sacrifices, I mean avoiding any of the mass gatherings or social activities that we know to be of risk, and avoid situations that, of course, would compromise our own safety. Tourism and health are united in the fight against COVID-19 where travel is concerned, and we are ever ready to strengthen protocols with the aim of protecting local communities. And we just want to remind the public that any known breaches can be reported to the 311 hotline or the nearest police station.
And that was Joreen Georges there speaking on this latest accomplishment of St. Lucia in terms of our tourism sector. St. Lucia being rated as a #1 Caribbean destination by the 2020 Reader's Choice Awards. The awards reflects the views of Travel Weekly's audience of what travel advisors consider to be the best in various categories of travel. And with many impediments imposed, as we've seen in the last year, by COVID-19 and the pandemic for the greater part of 2020, the winners operated for part of the year. Some continued operations throughout, as well as the months of 2019 that occurred after the votes were cast for last year's awards. So despite being impeded by the COVID-19 situation, we still have the voters coming out for the 2020 Reader's Choice Awards and voting for St. Lucia to be rated as the #1 Caribbean destination. So that is the update coming from the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. Thank you, Joreen Georges, their Public Relations Manager, for that quick update. And finally, we have an update bulletin from the Ezra Long Laboratory on the availability of their team that conducts the COVID-19 test results. We have the temporary closure of the Molecular Biology Department for Thursday, December 31st, 2020 to Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. And this temporary closure will result in a delay of the processing of COVID-19 test results for persons traveling or undergoing surgery and requiring a PCR test. You are asked to get tested at the respiratory clinic at a day best suited in order to obtain the test results in a timely manner. So please take note of that. I will be bringing you some more bulletin information coming from the Department of Health and Wellness. But first, we take a break to welcome Mrs. Nathalie Jolie Fannis from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. As I mentioned earlier, the Christmas wishes of many parents are coming true. School is reopening in January from the nurseries and daycare level all the way up to the tertiary level, and she will be letting you know what form that will take up on the morn, as well as providing us with additional information in terms of the programming of the institution this coming year. So stay with us, more coming after this break.
Cette lisi ka registre ve min corona ek I ka fe mouvement ek an chay vitesse tan chaque kanef ka kouye pour viligence publique la fe wolo parler en place publique kon bol en main base ti boutique changer distance sociale 6 pieds hot yon a lot I ka travay tan si ou senti ko pa cordial quarantine ko pas twe en contact et puis l'autre en cas ou te toi pe exposé c'est un ekouye free 11 ou ben n'importe clinique yo pou les pays a dimi a clé. Ça veut dire les supermarkets, pharmacies et puis ATM, yo accessible avant c'était souhait. Pays à clé en plein, ça veut dire tout bagay fermé à 24 heures. Servi protocole comme sorti par bureau indication santé. Nous tout ensemble, ça sauver vers min corona. Si nous tout servi jidla à toutes les.
Together let us win this war. Said Lucia be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
Coronavirus? I am worried, Gassa. It's only old people dying from that.
Hold up. Being young does not mean being safe. Yes, it's true that the elderly are at higher risk, but anyone can get the virus. The effect is even worse if you have a chronic condition like hypertension, heart disease, lung disease, and diabetes, or weakness in your immune system. If you are living with these conditions, be extra careful. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol when hand washing is not possible. Avoid touching your face. Take steps to boost your immunity through proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and take your medication as prescribed. Limit being around people who have flu symptoms, even close family members.
Our health is in our hands. Together, through simple actions, we can stop the spread of coronavirus. This message was brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Do you know me? I've been forced to do this by my trafficker. I was promised a better life, but got forced into domestic servitude. I can be any age. I can be any gender. Any ethnicity. I am a victim of trafficking in persons. Know the signs, see it, report it. If you see me, please help me. Call the TIP hotline at 847.
Communication. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, good morning to you. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for making us your morning program today. We continue with our program this morning with an interview from Mrs. Nathalie Jolie Fanis, and she is the Communications Officer for the South Lewis Community College. As we mentioned earlier in the program, school is reopening in January, and I know many students are intrigued. They want to know how and what form this return to the classroom up on the morn will take. So she's here to speak to us about that, among many other things. A special good morning to you, Mrs. Fanis.
Good morning, Jackie, and compliments of the season.
Same to you as well.
I realize you've been working through the season. I hope you got some time for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the first time we're back on set for the week, so we did have an opportunity to get some rest. Thank you so much. I hope you got some rest as well.
I tried.
Okay, so the kids have gotten a lot of rest. At home.
Unfortunately, not South Lewis students.
Well, okay. Well, in that case,
they have not been getting a lot of rest. Even the other students, because I have children, and yeah, they worked online. They had no choice but to work online. So they did get a Christmas break.
Okay. Yes, I'm talking about the Christmas break and the holiday season.
Never too much for children. 2 weeks
Absolutely.
is not that long a time.
But they're preparing to return to the classroom. And what are the preparations for the South Lewis Community College for that?
Well, that is why I needed to come here, because I recognized that the ministry put out a release saying that there was going to be a return to the classroom. For South Lewis Community College, our classroom remains virtual for the most part. You would understand that we do not function as a regular or average secondary school. We have a population of close to 2,000 students. So the logistics of having students physically on the campus in a classroom space is not as easily manageable as in other schools where there is a set class room for a group of students. The constant changes and movement with our classes, with our labs, etc. So we remain online.
Okay.
Our students, as you know, are more mature students. So we come back as of January 4th into our online mode. The break, the students were given a Christmas break, students and staff. I know some of them probably had projects and stuff to do during that time, because every time I tell them, I hope you enjoyed your break, they're like, Miss, what break? We still had work to do. That's the reality of college life sometimes. So we have to stick to our syllabus. Some of the students have external exams that they have to prepare for. So we have to stay on schedule. So we do have an academic calendar. And as per the calendar, tuition resumes on January 4th, but in the virtual space. Actually, because of some delays caused by COVID, we had a later than normal start for the new semester. We started, I think, around the middle of September, whereas traditionally we would start either the last week in August, the first week in September. So our semester, and that's another reason we really can't delay the break, our semester has been pushed into January. So when the students return, they will be completing semester 1.
Wow.
The other dynamic is, I can't even say dates for everybody, because we've had some changes. As you know, we've rebranded, we're doing things differently. And one of the things that we have experimented with this academic year is using what we call a modular system. So rather than students doing 15 weeks of a subject, which is what we traditionally do in a semester, there were courses that were like 7 weeks long. So they compacted differently. So there are only a few programs doing the modular, and then we have students in the regular 15-week semester. So those who return, those who are in the semester system, they will actually get into the exam period for the end of the semester as of January 11th. So they come back almost for 1 week of tuition, or 1 week of revision, I should say, and into the end of semester exams. And the modular students continue a little bit later towards the end of their modular program. I think that's about the 20th of January. And between each modular session, they also have a break for the start of the new one. So our students go into an exam or end of modular for the semester, and our semester 2 will begin in February. So the dynamics are different. And therefore, just to keep on schedule, again, to have the full 15 weeks for second semester, which will run a little later into May than usual, we really need to stick to our restart date of January 4th for tuition.
Okay. And not to worry, the online learning has been working. It has been effective to date.
It has been working, and what is good is that we've been modifying as the challenges arise. We moved from having a one-man e-learning department to increasing that to 5 because it was a lot of work. Wow. In March, I think when we transitioned rapidly, we just moved to whatever worked. But together with our Office of Institutional Effectiveness and our e-learning department, a lot of things have been regularized. So there are policies that govern how the online classroom should function, and they keep working on it. It wasn't without its issues. There were some teething issues, but what happened is that they adjusted as necessary. So if one thing didn't work, if one video conferencing system didn't work, they moved to another one that proved to be more effective. So the students have been very patient. They've been trying.
And the lecturers too.
And the lecturers, I was going to get to that, with the different kind of movement. But I think they have settled down for the most part, understanding how it works, where to find stuff online, meeting their deadlines. I have heard lecturers say, however, that some students are neglecting to come to their live sessions. So maybe I can use that as an appeal to both the parents and the students that they really need to attend, because that's what serves as their lectures. It is, some of it is self-paced. So they would have their syllabus, they would have assignments and schedules, everything there for them online. But they do still have the live interaction. And the lecturers also have office hours where it's not a lecture, but students can come on and they can ask their individual questions and get responses from the lecturers. They need to make greater use of that as well. The lecturers are saying they're not seeing enough of you. So we want the students to come on. There's a lot of monitoring going on through our e-learning platform. We are using the Moodle learning management system. So there's a lot of monitoring that can happen both by the head of department and also by the e-learning department. So they can generate reports as to how long both students and lecturers have been on, who's accessing what. If we have exams online and a student loses connectivity, all of these things are documented. So they're trying to make the system as foolproof as possible. So we maintain our academic integrity, and there's quality assurance in what we offer.
And speaking of academic integrity and quality assurance, in the context of things globally and this tertiary education institution, it is not unique to what is happening all around the world. So this is not a special arrangement that is being made for Sir Arthur to perhaps sully its reputation.
Not at all, not at all. We are following all of the international guidelines, best practices. Like I say, we have an office, we have 2 offices now dedicated to that. Office of Institutional Effectiveness will do the research component, benchmarking, looking at all of the standards. And now we have an e-learning department that oversees the online environment specifically. So definitely we're following, with Moodle, you're able to build your platforms and your content as well. So there's that opportunity. It's internationally recognized as well. So yes, definitely we are trying to maintaining all of the standards that are required and preparing students to be able to attain their degrees at the end of their period.
Wonderful. And speaking of degrees, the institution has some more programs. You guys have unfurled your wings some more, your wingspan some more, to offer more programming to prospective students.
Definitely. I was just thinking on my way here that we now have students who will actually stay with us for 4 years. In the past, it was 2 years, and it went so quickly and they're gone, except for our nursing program, which was always a 3-year program. Of course, we have upgraded that particular program. It is our first fully homegrown degree. That is the bachelor's degree of science in nursing. And we have our intake from last year. We actually ended up, I think, with 3 cohorts, almost from 1 application period, because there were so many students who had applied. So we had a cohort that began in in the August-September period. We have another starting in January and possibly another within the summer period. We are also offering those students who qualified but who may be missing an element. So for example, a science is a compulsory requirement like chemistry. Those students can actually do the chemistry with us as a standalone course for qualification into the degree program. So we do get questions, if I don't have a particular requirement, am I able to do it with the college? Yes, we do facilitate those courses in the science, in foreign language, and also in math and English. So they serve as access into our programs. So we do have our 4-year nursing, let me get back to that, as well as our Bachelor of Education in primary education. So these are our 2 4-year programs, and we look forward to those students, you know, really gelling, because like I say, in as much as the students come, the 2 years, it goes by so quickly. So we actually quite excited that we have those 2 programs on board. The other exciting dynamic add-on that we have introduced is something called a Gateway to Global Career. I was hoping, you know, the new head of that department would have joined me today. I hope he's watching because I did invite him.
You put him on the spot.
I am going to put him on the spot. But he is working really hard with my department in order to market the Gateways program. And essentially what that does is offer students an add-on. All students pursuing no matter what program with us. And its main focus is entrepreneurial. So essentially, it gives you a gateway to get out there, to have your own business, or to be able to partner with businesses. So the department has been working on seminars with reputable experts from various universities, well-known universities. They are also working on an innovation lab where students can actually practice their craft or design or build or create their own products and businesses. Very, very exciting. So there's a lot happening in that area. We did have a launch where we invited the students of the college. We're starting with the students. And they have an opportunity to register for the Gateways, which is, like I said, an add-on. So it's additional to their regular degree program.
Wonderful.
So whether you're doing an associate degree in science, whether you're writing business as a business subject, you have all of those additional courses, seminars, and internships that can be beyond St. Lucia, given the circumstances, how they change, but we are making linkages with various universities, business partners. Invest St. Lucia has come on board with us, so they will be helping us provide that practical component, as well as the Chamber of Commerce. So students have an opportunity not just to learn the academics, but also to put a practical component to the educational experience that will serve them well in their career path.
Quite the upgrade from a career fair.
Definitely, definitely. The internship has always been a component of our associate degree program, and it will remain that way, but we're taking it a step up. If you are familiar with like a North American degree, sometimes they have what we call an honors program that gives you that additional add-on that places you. The Gateways program will do more than that.
There's incentive.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
We are going to take a break. We're speaking to Mrs. Nathalie Jolie Fannis. I always get the Jolie. I stumble on the Jolie, but Mrs. Nathalie Jolie Fannis. I think I just want to say Nathalie Fannis.
That's fine. That's fine.
Mrs. Fannis, Communications Officer from the South Lewis Community College, speaking to us about the reopening of school, of course. So she's just letting us know that South Lewis will remain online, although they're returning to the classroom, the schoolroom in a virtual setting on the 4th of January. So please take note of that. Just speaking to us also on the new programs of the institution. When we come back, we're talking about graduation, as well as a Nobel Laureate Week observances. We know the South Lewis Community College is very active in that respect. So stay with us.
What does coronavirus have in common with love? Both are highly contagious. Spread love, not the virus. Like you, COVID-19 loves a lime. Beach, river, or fed. Coronavirus is like these people who track every lime just to invade. The best way to put off invaders? cancel the line. Spread love, not the virus. Keep you and your crew corona free. Live to lime another day.
Together let us win this war. Say Lucia be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
Thank you so much for staying with us during the break. Mrs. Fannis and I were just wrapping up on the whole new programs of the South Lewis Community College. And, you know, you mentioned, Mrs. Fannis, earlier about the 2-degree programs that are being offered at the South Lewis Community College now. And I was asking, to what extent will it be online? Because you indicated that program is now online for the new semester.
Yes. For the nursing program in particular, you know that there's quite a bit of a practical component to that. With the upgrade to the degree, the college has also upgraded its simulation lab for the nurses. So they do have a schedule where they have to come on campus to do certain things, to do lab work. And we also do have our 2nd and 3rd year students who would have to do the clinicals. So the department is managing that. But all of our programs that have a practical component, we did write officially to the CMO, I think it was in November, to resume those because, for example, hospitality, they won't be able to smell the food or taste the food through it can look good, but there are all of those components. So we did have to bring back the students who had labs and who had any form of practical back on campus towards the end of, well, not even the semester, but for the November, early December period. And that will continue into January before the exam period. So observing all of the protocols, the students are put into smaller groups to manage the social distancing that is necessary. But the practical components are scheduled and will continue as usual. With the teacher education, I know that in the regular period that there were actually students who opted to have face-to-face, and they were able to do, because we do have students who can do the degree whilst they are teaching at their respective schools. So they did offer a face-to-face or virtual component. And again, depending on how things progress over the next few weeks, I guess what the cases are, and based on the advice of the CMO, then they will make a decision as to whether they can go back face to face. But as much as possible, a principal did indicate that where we can accommodate some more face to face in sort of a more scheduled way to give students that interaction, that we will work on that in the coming semester.
Okay, wonderful. Graduation.
So again, COVID has brought us, you know, everything new. And for the first time, the South Lewis Community College will be hosting a virtual graduation. Our dates had to be adjusted, again, because everything was pushed back. Our semester was pushed back. The summer period is also used for students to complete internships and clinicals. So everything ran a little bit later. And therefore turning of grades, and our graduation is traditionally held on the first Sunday in December. And once you will leave that period, it's almost like you're getting into the Christmas season. So it was a bit of a catch for us to be able to reschedule during that time. So the new date for graduation for our class of 2020 is actually the 31st of January 2021. Culminating our celebration of excellence. As we know, we use January to celebrate our Nobel laureate and that legacy. So that will culminate our celebration of excellence on Sunday, January 31st, 2021. However, we have been engaging the students. They have received the letters that inform them whether they have qualified for graduation. and we are currently working on putting the package together. So one of those things is that we're encouraging the students to sign up for the photo day, because that will be sort of like their moment to shine. They will be able to wear their gowns and their stoles and have their photographs taken for that moment when they virtually cross the stage. I mean, it is something to celebrate, and we did not want to cancel that opportunity for the students. We have witnessed in the US that all universities, for the most part, I don't know that anyone actually cancelled, went virtual. And in different forms. You saw some, a little bit informal, where there was no choice. Nobody could come to the campus. They literally had to either take the pictures on their own, or they were at home in their graduation gowns.
Even here at UE.
Yes.
They were able to do that.
UE, as far as I know, yes, has a virtual one as well in January. Yes. So UE Open Campus, that is. So yes, so this is the trend, but we really want to give the students that opportunity. We also trying to inject a little bit of fun into the period rather than just the day. So we do have a graduation webpage that we're inviting our graduates to visit, and there are some activities that we will place on there for them towards them winning a few prizes. Special graduation prizes that we will disclose later, and we are happy that some of the corporate sponsors have come on board to reward our students for their resilience and for their tenacity during this time. So it's not just about the day. We do have a few surprises in store for them. Actually, the first student who registered and paid for graduation won herself something. Wow. So we've already started. Yeah.
What a time to graduate.
You know? So there's something different that comes with the virtual. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you mentioned earlier the culmination of the celebration of excellence with the graduation, the virtual graduation happening on the 31st. Speak to us about Sir Arthur Lewis Community College's role for Nobel Laureate Week activities in the new year.
Yes. So it is a role that the college has taken, embraced, taken quite seriously, given that, the college is named after one of the laureates. And now both laureates are buried on the grounds, or very close to the grounds of the campus. So we take that role very seriously, and we use the opportunity to really celebrate and to bring them again into the spotlight. So although activities have been scaled down, and this is not the official launch in any way, I just want to say that, yes, given that I had to speak about graduation, we are going to host the signature events that the college is responsible for. And the two events are the Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture and also the wreath-laying ceremony. And as of a few years ago, when Sir Derek Walcott passed, we do have the wreath-laying ceremony to include both laureates. So the college will keep that responsibility. Of course, the memorial lecture will be virtual, and that will give us greater reach. That is the plus to being virtual. So we will have that. In addition, we have in the past few years added another academic discourse that would include, the lecture is just one luminary, either regional or international, who speaks to the works of Sir Arthur Lewis. And because it's not the official launch, I'll hold that, but it's actually a St. Lucian.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
This year.
That's cool.
Not based in St. Lucia, but definitely a St. Lucian who is an economist. So look forward to that lecture.
Googling right now.
Yes, and yes, we've added the academic discourse, and this year next year, sorry, we are going to keep that element, and we're going to broaden it again because it's virtual. So we're going to have a wider panel that includes persons from overseas, in addition to some local panelists. And we are looking at the areas of sustainability, innovation, entrepreneurship, which are our three pillars now under our new branding. So that is also something very exciting that we can look forward to. Let me just speak to one more thing. The other element that has become sort of a staple is the theater production by our students. And although this year we can't have it in the traditional form, I think in the last 3 years we've had some phenomenal productions by our students. One of them making it to Carifesta. We're very, very, very proud of Monique and her team for being able to produce that and for it going that far. And she has almost started, has a legacy now because the theatre students now want to continue that. And they started at a time when we didn't offer theatre arts at the college. We now have an associate degree in theatre arts. We have Ms. Kentilia Louis, who is a lecturer in that program. So they are working on doing something virtual. And it's going to be based on our new normal. And it has a bit of realism from what I understand. It's a docudrama where they are taking a peek into how life has been for St. Lucians in the COVID environment. I think I've said a lot. So look forward to our calendar of activities for the Nobel Laureate Week because, you know, we can't let everything that's happening dampen us and stop us from doing what we normally do. We will function in the new normal or the next normal, as our principal now coins it. He said, what's the next normal? Yes, so we function in that.
Absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to the memorial lecture and, as you mentioned, the discourse of the panel discussion.
Yes.
The memorial lecture is always wonderful, but you know, when you have the think tank of different viewpoints and perspectives, you're able to come away feeling rejuvenated.
Yes.
It is a wonderful time to be studying for individuals continuing education and so on. I don't know if you could just reinforce that point to individuals who might be watching, who are looking for some motivation, inspiration to take on a program, take on a course of study.
Definitely. The virtual space is not as scary as people think it is. It takes a bit of discipline, but there are a lot of support structures. So if you are considering doing a program, it is a time where you can take advantage of doing it now. Our application period for the next academic year will start sometime usually around March. But those of you in the South, let me just put in a plug. The South accepts, our South campus accepts students every semester. It operates a little bit differently from the North, and their period will start, of application will start in January. So if you are in the South of the island and you want to engage in our business program or our hospitality program, go onto our website and find out the information there for you to be able to apply and to register for our programs. But yes, definitely, we have worked hard on our learning management system for online learning. So students continue to stay focused. Reach out if you have any issues. Let us know what it is that you're facing. Reach out to your lecturers. Reach out to your department heads. Reach out to the SALCC communication address and let us know what issues you are facing and where we can help, because we want to see you succeed. And it is a time where it is just different. And I think we have shown ourselves to be a very resilient people, and we can overcome any odds that we face.
Absolutely.
Yeah? As a small island.
Absolutely.
I think we've done well.
I think that was the closing word. Unless you have anything else to
We've done well. Just to wish everyone a bright, energetic 2021, inspired, again, because, you know, we will pull through all of the things that we face. So a very, very happy new year, and we look forward to welcoming our students back virtually and in person.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Nathalie Fannis, for sitting in with us and speaking to us about the activities of the South Meadows Community College come the new year.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Graduation, reopening, new programs, Nobel Laureate Week, the signature activities, the wreath laying, the memorial lecture. There is so much to look forward to in the new year, albeit in a different format, but certainly we are celebrating and we are going forward in the development of our humans, our St. Lucians here on island as best as possible. It's all the time we have for now for today. Again, Mrs. Fannis, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
St. Lucia rated as #1 Caribbean destination in the 2020 Reader's Choice Awards. We have an update on the COVID-19 recoveries. The tally is now up to 274 out of the 331 diagnosed to date. I believe we have 57 active cases of COVID-19 here on island right now. Wellness Center Bulletin, just letting you in on the New Year's holiday weekend. I believe the the Ezra Long Laboratory, the team there that deals with the COVID-19 cases. They will not be available on the following dates. They will be closed from Thursday, the 31st of December 2020 to Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. And we'd like to thank you so much for sitting in on this interview with Mrs. Fannis, just giving us an update from SALCC's perspective on the reopening of school. And many of you parents are getting your Christmas wishes. The kids are going back to the classrooms, but up the morn, the kids will remain learning via the virtual format. So please take note of that. My name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Looking forward, the countdown is on. It's the 29th of December to a new year. We're not sure what celebrations will be happening, but of course we do hope that you are keeping to the protocols to the T and adhering to the infection prevention guidelines. Again, my name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Do enjoy the rest of your day and continue to watch NTN for more programming as we update you as to what's going on from the government of St. Lucia. Cheers.